Thanks for watching Film Buff, really, honestly. It's fucking great.
Hello, how's it going, guys? My name is Film Buff. First of all, I need to thank all the amazing patrons. Thank you so much. Honestly, thank you so much. There's over 150 of you now. Incredible. Just thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support, your kindness. And the full episode reaction to this episode is going to be up on Patreon before this goes up on YouTube. So I hope you enjoy that, and then you come down here and check out the discussion. So I hope you enjoy the full episode reaction. And yeah, and a reminder to anyone else, if you do want to see the full episode reaction to this, head on over to Patreon, become a $1 patron, and you get access to the full episode reaction. In the comments, I still see that some people are confused about the episode like getting chopped up, like cut up. I'm sure most of you know this, but like to anyone who doesn't know this, that's by choice. It has to be 10 minutes. I'm only allowed to use 10 minutes of footage. I know there's a lot of channels that can do the full episode. I have no clue how they do it, how they don't get taken down. Now I say that, but I a friend of mine told me that another channel that's been doing Attack on Titan reactions kind of got hit, strikes or something. So they were doing like full episode reactions, and then boom, But yeah, from the beginning, episode 1, I tried the full episode. Nope, Funimation didn't allow it. Basically, if I keep it 10 minutes or under 10 minutes, I'm good. The reactions stay up. A lot of people are confused by that. The fact that it cuts off and goes to like another scene. I guess most people are used to seeing full episode reactions, right, on YouTube. But yeah, I tried for like the first few episodes. No, Funimation just did not allow it. Now I'm not trying that anymore. Now on YouTube, it's always just going to be the 10 minutes. And if you're interested in the full episode reaction, that's on Patreon. And also just like an update on the upload schedule. My goal is to get these out, as quick as possible. But yeah, once again, Monday to Friday, I can't do anything in terms of YouTube. So the schedule's been slow, and Game of Thrones came back, so that, that pushed it back even further. So at this point, guys, I can only do YouTube stuff as I get the time. There's no more schedules. There's no more, a new episode every 6 or 7 days. In my position, I can't be making promises that are going to backfire, and then people are going to get angry and frustrated. See, that's my thing. I don't want anyone to get frustrated. That's why I keep saying, please feel free to unsub. Please feel free to delete your pledge on Patreon. I hate frustrating people. So, so that's why, I'm so open about, telling people to just unsub. Not because I'm trying to be rude or anything. I say that because I just don't want to frustrate anyone. So I just, I'm so open about just telling people, to feel free to unsub, to feel free to delete your pledge. I might be the only person on YouTube telling people unsub and delete Patreon pledges, but the best thing to do is to be honest. So yeah, guys, at this point I'm not in a position to say for sure that there's gonna be new episodes every 7 or 8 days or something like that. All right, so let's get to the recap. Last episode, basically, let's just go with the ending there. Basically, that captain guy, that crazy guy who's just scared shitless, he's not being reasonable at all. He basically fires on them, and right at the end, Eren decides to transform, right? He does his thing, he transforms. A few things, I guess. The one thing I got wrong, apparently, is that the key, he's always had the key on him. I don't know if it's been that clear, though. Like, I'll put up a screenshot of the thing I was basing this on. There was a clear shot of him, and there was nothing around his neck. So that was in my mind, as I was talking about the key not being there. So, I'll put it up. So in my defense, it's not really that clear that the key's always on him, unless he's taped it under his like shirt or something. It's not around his neck in this, in this shot at least. But yeah, apparently, according to you guys, he's always had the key on him. And there was one more thing. Also, I saw in the comments that a few people, like maybe 1 or 2, they were going on about how I'm saying that Eren turned into the Colossal. Go back and listen to what I said. I said he turned into something that looks similar to the Colossal. Of course he can't be the Colossal. The Colossal is goddamn massive. I said he looks similar to the Colossal. There's a lot of love in the comments. Again, I thank you so much. I'm about to go 10 episodes in after this, and I hope it's been fun for you guys. It seems like it has, you know, from the comments. You guys are super supportive. Let's do episode 10.
今でさえこんな状態なのにエレンのこと知ったら放射にしてもあの煙の量は何だまさか巨人の蒸気おいおい
Okay, Reiner.
どうなってんだこれはなんだこれは大丈夫かお前らこれはわからん
Get out, get out.
こいつはもう蒸発する巨人の死体と同じだ少し離れるぞただ一つだけ思い出した地下室だ俺んちの地下室そこに行けば全てわかるって親父が言ってた俺がこうなっちまった原因も親父だ地下室に行けばおそらく巨人の正体もわかるんだ
Yes, Aaron. Basement.
だとしたらなんで隠したその情報は何千人もの調査兵団が命を落としても求め続けた人類の希望ってやつじゃないのかそれを俺んちの地下室に大事にしまっていたっていうのか何考えてんだ一体そもそも俺たちを5年もほっといてどこで
エレン
今度はもっと強力なやつをさっき巨人どもを蹴散らしたような15メートル級になってやる
Yes.
鼻血が
エレンはそれ以内に行動してここから去っていくだろうどうしてこんな時に思い出すこんなこともうこれが僕たちの最後だから結局僕は最後まで臆病者以外の何かにはなれなかった僕は何度も2人に助けられたけど僕が2人を助けたこと
Sure you did.
一度もないままだ
この巨人の力は兵団の下で計画的に機能させるのが一番有効なはずなんだ
Yeah.
エレンどうして僕にそんな決断を託すの
お前ってヤバい時ほどどの行動が正解か当てることができただろうそれに頼りたいと思ったからだ
いつそんなことが
いろいろあっただろう5年前なんか
He still doesn't
お前が
remember.
ハンネスさんを呼んでくれなかったら俺もミカサも巨人に食われて死んでた
Oh.
僕が勝手に思い込んでただけだ勝手に自分は無力で足手まと
Nah,
いだ
man, you're not.
僕に命を預けると言っている2人は僕がこの世で最も信頼している人間だこれ以上の説得力がどこにある必ず説得してみせる2人は極力抵抗の意志がないことを示してくれ
Yes, Armin.
エレンが巨人になって戦っていた時からずっと引っかかってたことがある。まだ考えがまとまってないけどやってやる。喋りながらでも考えろ。
止まれ
He's such a bitch.
証拠は必要ありません。そうだ、必要ない。そもそも我々が彼をどう認識するかは問題ではないのです。
なんだと。
大勢の者が彼を見たと聞きました。ならば彼が巨人と戦う姿も見たはずです。周囲の巨人が彼に群がっていく姿も。つまり巨人は彼のことを我々人類と同じ捕食対象として認識しました。我々がいくら知恵を絞ろうともこの事実だけは動きません。
Tell him, Armin.
確かにそうだ。巨人が味方。
That's right, speak up. Speak up.
迎撃態勢を取れ。
Dude.
奴らの巧妙な罠に惑わされるな。奴らの行動は常に我々の理解を超える。人間に化け、人間の言葉を弄し、我々を欺くことも可能というわけだ。これ以上奴らの好きにさせてはならない。
ダメだ。考えることを放棄して、
Yeah.
考えることが怖いんだ。
Fear, man.
味方。私は永遠に人類復興のためなら心臓を捧げると誓った兵士。その信念に従った末に命が果てるのなら本望。彼の持つ巨人の力と残存する兵力が組み合わさればこの町の奪還も不可能ではありません。人類の栄光を願い、これから死にゆく全てもの間に彼の戦術価値を解きます。
Yes, Armin. Tell him.
ベルマン隊長、彼の言葉は考察に当たる。
Hold. Dude, someone knock this guy out.
どう命乞いしようと奴らは反逆者だ。規則に反する者は排除する。それが兵士たる者の務めだ。予算か。相変わらず図体の割には小鹿のように繊細な男じゃ。
What's his name?
ピクシス司令。
Pixis. Pixis.
わしはあの者らの話を聞いた方がいい気がするの。
ドット・ピクシス。彼はトロスト区を含む南側領土を統括する最高責任者であり、人類の最重要区防衛の全権を託された人物だった。
He's the real deal, man.
やはり見当たらんか。超絶美女の巨人になら食われてもいいんだがの。
そして生来の変人としても知られている。
しかし物事の真意を見極める程度のことはできるつもりじゃ。お主らの命はわしが保証しよう。
その時僕が言おうとしたことは、巨人になったエレンがあの大岩を運んで破壊された扉を塞ぐということでした。ただ単純に思いついただけですが、せめてエレンの持つ力に現状を打開できる可能性を感じてもらえないかと。
That's right, Armin.
お主は穴を塞ぐことができるか。
それはどうでしょうか。今の自分に分かることなんてここにいるみんなとそう変わりがありません。なので自分はここでできるにしろできないにしろ無責任に答えるわけには。
ああ、そうじゃの。すまんかった。質問を間違えてしもうたわ。お主はやるのかやらんのかどっちだ。
やります。
Hell yeah.
やります。穴を塞げるかどうかは分かりません。でもやります。
All right, man. Episode 10. This is a big one, man. Big one for Armin. You know, it was a really big character building, character development episode for Armin. You know, once again, he from the beginning of the show so far, 10 episodes in, you know, he's had moments of breaking out of his shell, you know, and realizing that he is capable. You know, he's been this person who really doesn't think much of himself. You know, he doesn't think that he can be useful to anyone, you know, and that he's a liability. And once again, this episode, he felt that, you know. At one point, Eren is talking to Mikasa, and, you know, they're just kind of talking about the plan, and it kind of goes to Armin, and Armin's thinking, and he gets those flashbacks, right, of Eren and Mikasa helping him, and he starts to think again that, you know, man, I'm so useless. But soon he realized that, you know, it was all in his head. He realized that he you know, he made himself believe that he's just this useless individual, you know, because Eren presented this idea, and he, you know, this is a difficult task. You know, you decide if you can go and make this happen, make them believe that I'm not a threat. And, you know, he felt that Armin can do it. You know, he felt that Armin is capable of this. You know, Armin's all like confused. He's like, how come you're trusting me with this this kind of task? You know, and he reminded him that 5 years ago, if it wasn't for him, you know, thinking quick and going to Hannes, that both of them might have been dead, you know, Mikasa and Eren. As Armin came to this realization that it was all in his head, and that these two, you know, the two people he cares most about trust him so much, you know, it was a cool scene, the timing of it, because as he realized this, the carcass, you know, the Titan carcass that Eren made, more on that later, crashes down as Armin realizes this. You know, so I thought that was some cool symbolism going on there. You know, him breaking out of his shell, and, you know, and at that same moment, the carcass coming down, you know, just like breaking apart. So kind of like this glass ceiling that Armin has been bumping up against, you know, for long parts of his life, he finally kind of broke through. And I felt like the carcass coming down and shattering kind of mirrored that. But yeah, at this point, you know, Armin is ready. He is taking the challenge. You know, he's accepted the challenge of making this happen. You know, make them believe that Eren is not a threat to humanity and to them. In fact, he is actually an incredible asset. You know, and Eren himself even realizes this. You know, and he tells them, Armin and Mikasa that, you know, the best thing to do is to use this ability under the military's direction, right? Be an asset for the military. So yeah, Armin goes out there, and man, this captain, like he's like scared shitless. He is just, you know, overcome by fear. You know, and Armin's counter to that was like, there is no need for proof, because plenty of these people, you know, the same people that are standing here right now, saw Eren Titan fight against the other Titans, right? And that they saw the other Titans attack Eren. So, and, you know, as he's saying this, you can see in their faces, the people that are under this captain's command, you know, you can see in their faces, they're like, yeah, that's right, man. And, you know, a few of them are starting to realize, holy shit, a Titan on our side? Yeah, so, you know, a lot of them are starting to realize, huh, he's making a good point, man. That motherfucker was out there beating up the other Titans, and he did not harm a single human. Like, he did not go after Inhumans. But again, Mr. Captain, he's just tripping, man. He is just all over the place. He's just overcome by fear, man. You can see it in the animation, you know, the way they drew him, the way he's animated, like. And then Armin's reaction to him, Armin's just like baffled. He's like, this guy's abandoned all logic, you know. And the captain still thinks that that, you know, these are sleeper agents. These are Titans that have taken human form and have learned to speak the common tongue, and are trying to infiltrate, you know, their camp. Yeah, you know, he thinks that their behavior is beyond their understanding. So he's not having any of it. And like the thing he's explaining, you know, his concern of them being sleeper agents, basically he kind of has it flipped, right? It's actually the opposite, because it's a human, Eren, who is able to transform into a Titan. You know, and at this point, Armin has a look at Eren and Mikasa, and Eren gives him a nod, and Armin this time really goes for it, man. He really puts it out there with feel, passion, aggression. I was so impressed, man. I was legitimately so impressed. I was so happy to see this, you know, because Armin is like an underdog, right? You know, because he is different. You know, he isn't like Mikasa. He's not like Eren. He's a soft-spoken person. You know, he is a timid person. But yeah, man, this time he really gets it out there. And at this point, Armin, you know, lets him know that that they can use this ability, you know, alongside the remaining forces to recapture the city. He's trying his best, you know, and he's making a good case, a solid case. The people, like, there's this one guy who's like trying to talk to the captain. He's like, Captain, like, I believe he said something like he's making a lot of sense or something along those lines. And this guy, he tells them all to like be quiet and just get ready, you know, and he's about to give the signal. You know, at this point I remember saying someone needs to knock this guy out. Who comes in? Pixis. It's been a few episodes since the intro to Pixis. You know, he's such a calm and laid back person, you know, someone who has experience, someone who is respected. He's seen, you know, he's clearly seen some things, and you could tell that he's good at picking things up. Of course, at his age and experience, you know, these kind of things come naturally at some point. And he can, you know, he even tells Eren later on, right at the end of the episode, that he can tell if someone's being sincere. I feel like he could tell that Armin is being sincere. He could tell that, you know, Armin's not bullshitting. He's not trying to trick them or anything. He could, you know, pick that up. And he mentions his salute. You know, he notices that Armin is giving a salute that he really means. You know, there's passion behind that salute. And yeah, you know, finally he shuts up this captain. But I'm glad Pixis came in. Pixis, to be exact. And in the next scene, I kind of got to know Pixis a little bit more. Again, you know, they told me his full name, Pixis, you know, and that he is a top officer in charge of the Trost district. And something funny happened here. You know, he made a joke, and I was like, it caught me by surprise, man. And you know, and he was described as a full-blown eccentric. And you know what, man, that makes him even more, you know, likable. It adds like another layer to him, you know, and in my opinion makes him even more interesting and more likable. I think, you know, kind of reminds me of Goku. You know, Goku's like this amazing, you know, badass like fighter, but at the same time he's like a goof who loves to just eat food, and he can be silly. So it kind of reminded me of Goku a bit. But yeah, Eren told him that he needs to go to the basement, and that he's gonna have he's gonna have an answer, you know, an explanation for all of this if he gets to the basement. But you know, I do feel like you're sincere. Like he straight up told him that he could tell if someone is being sincere. And yeah, you know, from the beginning he clearly gets a feeling from these three I mean, I was about to call them kids. They're not really kids anymore, are they? But yeah, so he could tell that Eren is being sincere. Like, you know, he could pick it up. So he guarantees their safety. You know, and that's huge, because the top officer, the highest ranking officer, has guaranteed their safety. So, and you can tell that Pixis is eager to learn more about this potential plan that Armin, you know, kind of tossed up about using Eren's newfound abilities to actually, you know, take back the city and fight the Titans. You know, and once again, Armin drops the idea that perhaps in that moment, you know, before Pixis showed up, that maybe Eren could show them, you know, his capabilities by blocking the hole. Again, you know, that goes back to Eren telling him that he can think quick. You know, he can think quick in a tight situation. And Eren straight up told that he doesn't quite know for sure if he can do this. Then Pixis rephrases it into more of a yes or no, you know, like a definitive, give me a yes or no. And, you know, after a little bit of thinking, Eren, you know, gets hyped again. He gets pumped up again. And he tells him, okay, I'll try, man. I'll give it a shot. And, you know, that's how it ends. A shot of the big hole in the wall. So yeah, man, this is exciting because in the next episode or in the next few episodes, I'm probably gonna get to see Eren try out his new abilities, free of any backlash or free of any, potential danger to his life, because now it's gonna be in a controlled situation, right? Because Pixis is allowing him to test it out and check it out, and he's guaranteed that he's gonna be safe. Okay, now let's go back to the beginning of the episode. So the beginning of the episode goes back in time just a little bit. It gives us a different perspective. Right before Eren turns into Titan and like the cannon goes off. So this time it's showing us the recruits, the other recruits, leading up to all the commotion after the cannon goes off. So the one guy's going on about how it's a good thing. There's a gag order because people are already freaked out. There's one guy who's like, I just watched my friends die. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel sadness, anger. And as that guy was talking about the gag order, they showed Reiner. There was a shot of Reiner, he was against the wall, and at the other side of the wall it was Annie. And it was a shot of Reiner kind of, looking at her. So yeah, I guess he's like checking in on her. A few episodes ago, maybe 2 episodes ago, you could tell that he cares for Annie as a friend. So he looks out for her. More of the same in this one. But sticking on Reiner, man. As the cannon goes off and like panic, right? The moment the cannon goes off, the single cannon, and people notice that, it creates a bit of a panic, a bit of a panic situation. The next scene, really interesting scene. It's showing like it's like going back and forth. It's showing like people panicking, and then it's zooming in on Reiner. So people panicking, zooming in on Reiner. Then it gets really close to his face, and they show his face. Dude, he looked like he saw a ghost. His expression was so much more different than these other recruits who were like shocked but clueless. They don't know what's going on. Reiner's expression was more, it was almost like he knows what's just happened. It was that look of being rattled because what might have just happened. Like you could, it was a totally different look on his face. And he was the first one to spring into action. Like he goes right in for the look. He needs to go and see what's going on. And I believe Annie and his other friend both, follow him. And Jean as well, I believe. So yeah, Reiner, I believe I said, not last episode, but maybe the episode before, he took an interest in this Titan, this new Titan that seems to be fighting other Titans. So he's still definitely interested, something's going on here. He's got a lot of interest in this. And, I got my answer later on in the episode in terms of how come he was incomplete and he couldn't, transform into a full Titan. Eren said that perhaps he only had enough endurance to, turn into this incomplete Titan. And, they even mentioned this. Mikasa and Armin noticed that, he's looking pale. He's got a nosebleed going on, so, he needs rest. You can tell he needs rest. Once he's fully rested and back at 100%, I think he can, transform back into a full Titan. But yeah, so at the end of the last episode, it was clear that he physically turned into this Titan. Once he bit his thumb, he physically actually, grows into this Titan, this incomplete Titan. But once again, he ends up in that, in that spot. It's almost kind of like he's in the control hub, and he's like, he's like attached. He's like a part of this Titan. But in that whole transformation process, he goes back into human form and goes back into that spot, and that's the spot that humans have identified as the go-to spot. Hit them there, and that kills them. Eren kind of snaps out of it, and again, he's not used to this just yet, so he freaks out again. He tries to get out of it, pulls himself out. The muscles kind of attach to him again, pulls himself out, gets out of there. And the moment he gets out, this thing starts to decay, the carcass. At this point, Armin is kind of, he's just thinking all kinds of things right now. He's just kind of freaking out again. Mikasa tells him the only thing that matters right now is that Eren protected us. He did this to protect us. And that kind of gets a smile out of Armin, and he realizes, oh, yeah, good point. But you know, something interesting happened. He noticed flowers just right there, you know, inside. Only inside. I believe that's what Armin mentioned. They have shown me flowers before, you know, in this show, in the first 10 episodes. The first thing that came to mind was back in episode 1, his first dream sequence thing they showed me, right? This is the one he saw his mother getting lifted by the Titan. There was a field of flowers in that as well, in his dream he had, or this vision, right? In that there's a field of flowers and there's like blood that splatters across, you know. And I believe as he opened his eyes, Mikasa had some in her hands, or it was like a field of flowers or something, you know. It was one or the other, but I've seen these flowers before, so I'm not sure if there's some significance behind these. Maybe it's some kind of symbolism. I can't really make anything of it just yet, but as you know, as the episodes go on, maybe something's gonna come out of this, you know, some kind of significance, some kind of symbolism. But I'm sure I'm gonna see these flowers again, you know, the blue ones. But as they're talking, Eren now knows, you know, he knows what the next step is. Well, he might not get to do that next, based on the ending of that episode, but he needs to go to the basement, and he knows this now. He knows that's what he has to do, and that he's gonna get his answers there. You know, he's gonna learn the truth behind the Titans, and perhaps he's gonna learn the reasoning behind him having the ability to turn to a Titan. But he raised a good question, man, a really good point. How come his dad sat on this information, man? And he's getting really frustrated. He's really angry that his dad sat on this information, you know, because so many people have died trying to find this, you know, the answers. I'm sure his father has reasons, you know, for sitting on this information. Of course, he doesn't want people to die for no reason, right? So I'm sure there's some reason, you know. So I'm sure there's some reason that this information had to be secret, and that he has told Eren to go to the basement. You know, and his father's absence has been noted now by Eren. He's basically questioning his absence over the last 5 years. Now I'm questioning his absence over the last 5 years. You know, so he's up to something. He's been up to something. So for the most part, this is a really straightforward episode. So it doesn't really allow for too much speculation and theories. But here's a little bit of a theory. Maybe his dad has studied them. You know, maybe he's had a chance to study a Titan's body. Maybe he extracted something from their bodies, something, you know. Maybe he had a close look at them, and it helped him develop this serum, you know, this serum that he gives to Eren. Something important, you know. I'm sure it's something important. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing more of his dad. So at this point, Eren has basically accepted that that he can turn to a Titan, and he's, you know, and at this point he realizes that I can actually use this ability to help, you know, help humanity, help the military fight the Titans. So he's definitely coming to terms with that. But yeah, man. So if you enjoyed it, please smash that thumbs up. Leave your comments. Let me know what you guys thought. Once again, thank you to the amazing patrons. You know, I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. And once again, guys, before I sign off, please, you know, feel free to unsub, or feel free to delete your pledge.